go in and cut costs. How do you reconcile that, okay? I give you all that as background, that's where we're at. So our position of what we're gonna do and what these candidates are all agreeing to do is cut tuition by 2/3, cut management by 2/3, basically delete the Alexander era from the history of this school. Okay, get it back to where it was. I mean, you know that in this department, when Pounds was running things and I was budget chair and head of the production option, we were up to close to 80 students in the production option. What do we got this year?
30 something.
32, I think.
32, 34.
How do we explain that? You know how many people we turned away who should be making films here who are not? You know, I mean, it's crazy. So
Our total FTS is down from 750, 749 to 691.
time, it's nuts, and there's no excuse for it. There's a lot of corruption that led to it. There's money that's been taken in this department, and I'm not gonna talk about that, but it's been given to other departments. If you ever read, have anybody read my little thug thing? If you go to HTTP, what is it?
Yeah.
That it?
Yep.
Blogspot.com and read just the last chapter, the Stolen 9, you will see where film's money went in the last few years. You will see why there isn't as much money for you guys to produce movies. And at its heyday, when I was doing head of the production option, we were handing out $6,000 to $8,000 a person to make a movie. And that was with the 70-some students. Now we're giving a few hundred. And it's only because I got some Hollywood Foreign Press money, so it might go up to maybe 1,000 or 1,500 this year, we'll see. Anyway, you can check it out and see where our money went. Did I do that backslash the wrong way? Anyway.
No, that's right.
Okay. That's right. Sort of the side story you need to know. Our goal is reduce tuition, I'm going to cut it to the chase now. Reduce tuition, reduce management, rebate money to those of you who overpaid in the past few years, which can be done. There's a lot of talk about class action suits and stuff like that. That money can be rebated fairly immediately back because there is a surplus when we start cutting deals. In the middle of the recession, the school, Alexander and his people started handing out 3-year guaranteed deals to administrators. Guaranteed, so we couldn't get rid of them. But they can be gotten rid of. They can be welcome to the real world. You hear about writers and actors and people all the time who have deals and or you know, God, you see it all the time with athletes. They have a deal for X amount of time, but they're let go early. How do you get out of them? I'm a lawyer. You buy them out. If somebody has a 3-year deal and they're getting $2 million, I can buy them out right now and get rid of them within a year for a lot less than that. I don't need them working for me. If they don't need to do the job, why am I going to pay them for 3 years? I can buy them out of the deals. So there's a lot of practical ways we can cut this immediately. The fees, President Parra and Alexander added 2 fees on in the last few years that you guys have paid. Did you notice you paid a couple $100 extra on another, what is it?
75,
And
150.
did you notice that in your city bill?
Yeah, a little bit.
Do you know what that goes for? Anybody? That fee was added on to pay for sports publicity.
Oh, yeah.
That was the first part. And the second part was to help them cover scholarships that we didn't really get for the Bob Cole Music School. You're now paying the music students. You are personally paying the music students to be here. Nobody's paying you to be here. This is getting screwed. So if you're interested in seeing your tuition cut, if you were previously here and you want a refund, these guys are all about that. If you want to see cuts in general, we're about that. We also want to make the time in classes more efficient and not have people like me have to come waste a half hour every time. We want more contact time with students alone, and we also we can reduce faculty workloads overall at the same time, and yet give you a better experience across the board. All those things are easily accomplished within 2 years at the most because of the contract buyouts, and really 1 year if we let it be known that this is what we're doing. And so that's the essence of the platform. And there's one last point of the platform. It's a really simple one. We don't want administrators who are crooks anymore. Well, we want honesty, integrity, we want people to tell the truth. We want money to be accounted for. And in order to do that, we have to have transparency. You guys are taxpayers. Any one of you at any point in time, under the law, should be able to see our budget. They're in the library, but the secret documents are not. The stuff they float around that they don't show you can't be found there. The plans aren't there. When you ask for documents, they find ways not to give them to you. The only way we found out about the Bob Cole thing is we asked under the Public Records Act for documents, and they hid them from us for months. By no coincidence, they handed it to us 3 days after Alexander left and was officially installed at LSU. Then they gave us the document showing us that there was no $16 million Bob Cole donation. There's not a dime, not a single dime that's a big lie. There needs to be clear access. So we've asked for other stuff and they just won't refuse to give it to us and want us to sue to get it. This is under state law, we have a complete right to it. Any one of you have a right to it. I don't have any right, I'm not asking for it as a professor, I'm asking for it as a writer, I'm asking for it as a citizen. There's no reason we can't have a president who comes in and says, you know what, public access means public access, transparency means transparency. Let's do it. So that's what we're up to. These guys are going to tell you different ways they would implement these things. They're going to explain why and how this could work. Michael's going to show you a little more history of how we got into the mess we got into. We're going to exhort you to go to change.org and sign the petition. The petition is not in favor of any one of these people. The petition is in favor of the platform. I want my tuition cut. I want money back. I want honesty brought to this thing, and I want transparency brought to the table here. Please, I will ask you point blank, please sign the petition. You have no obligation to me. I'm not any teacher for any of you at the moment. If you would do that, that would be kind. If you would spread the word, that would be kind. Spread it to your parents, spread it to every taxpayer, spread it to people out of state. We don't care. If Cal State Long Beach can become the flagship for how a state university should be run, we can actually change the world. As silly as that sounds, and as apathetic as you'd like to be, we can make a difference. But it's got to start somewhere. And this is a film department. My last anecdote is when I was in the film department at UCLA during the Vietnam craziness, the Cambodian incursion and all that, we sat down and we said, we're the guys that matter most at this entire university. I remember we used to say, we are the eyes and the ears of the revolution. If we don't put across this message, no one will. And that was literally what we did. So all I can say to you guys is if you give a shit about your own lives, about the student loans you're going to owe for the rest of your life, do something. This is your chance to do it. Okay, Anna, you're up.
Oh, okay. Let me have the